Car buying increased by more than 17% in March as folks flocked to dealerships before the Trump tariffs kicked in. If you plan on doing the same, it's important not to rush the process. That's the topic of today's Consumer Alert. Deanna, we haven't felt the full impact of the tariffs yet because dealers still have old inventory, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Brett. Most dealers have an inventory that lasts 60 to 75 days. But even though many cars on lots right now are tariff-free, we're still seeing the impact of increased demand. In April, new car prices rose 2.5%. Used car prices were up 2.7%. But analysts believe the prices could go up significantly higher when that old inventory is gone. So, if you're in the hunt for a used car, there's a step you absolutely cannot miss. Have that car checked out by a reputable mechanic.
If you just look down the side of the car, these cars have a 3-process paint.
Paul Marone knows cars. As the owner of East Ave Auto, he's seen countless used cars with the telltale signs of damage that most folks would miss. Even though the Carfax is clear, Paul knew that this car had been in a wreck.
In this case, we can see the bumper on the back of the car is a different color than the car,
indicating the bumper has been replaced. So Paul investigated further.
So you see that right away, and we went looking right away to see how much damage was in the back of the car, which there's none. So it could be that they just backed into something to put a hole in that bumper cover.
But no damage to the frame. That's good. The prior owner likely paid for that new bumper out of pocket, avoiding an insurance claim and a report to Carfax.
The other thing is just listen to how the door closes, right? And maybe listen to all 4 of them. Because if there is some kind of damage done to the car, most of the time when something rattles inside there, you know it didn't get put back together correct.
All that tells him volumes before he even pops the hood.
So then, Deanna, you know, the first things we do is just get under here and take a look and see if anything looks cracked or damaged.
He says all too often he finds definite deal breakers.
What were some of the most egregious things that you've seen in a used car that someone was thinking about buying?
We have seen cars come from out of state that have had the mileage rolled back.
You may remember in a Consumer Alert last year, I showed you how a seller can roll back the odometer with a simple tool.
All we have to do is plug into it. Doesn't require really any type of formal training.
Can anyone buy that tool that you have in your hand?
Yes.
In fact, I found it online selling for just $119. It's frighteningly easy. For example, this truck has more than 310,000 miles.
I've inputted about 100,000 miles. So I'm going to hit enter right now, and you'll see in just a couple seconds that's going to communicate with the instrument cluster. It'll flash, and now we've got 100,000 miles on this pickup.
But a good mechanic can spot the signs of odometer rollback.
Just looking underneath, you're like looking at a car that can't be that low mileage. You know?
Yeah.
It's just looking at the mechanical end of it, in which case you got to get it up in the air and look.
What is the verdict? Would you recommend my buying this car?
You know, this looks like a great car. No red flags with it at all, nothing that we could see wrong.
And that's certainly what you want to hear before you commit to years of car payments. Now, I've called around. Most mechanics charge $50 to $125 for a pre-buying inspection. It is money well spent. And that's your Consumer Alert.